Renewing the electrical in the kitchen, part 5. I'm back to filming with the regular camera because that camera that I used last time, although it was convenient for me, the audio was absolutely horrendous. The audio was so bad on that camera, I think it was even worse than the iPhone. And that's really saying something because I hate the iPhone. But anyways, so I don't think I'm ever going to use that camera again. I suppose maybe it's okay for a secondary angle of something or what have you, but any video with narration, that is just totally unacceptable. So, that's unfortunate. I don't know why it's like that, but that's the way it is. So today we are going to see if we can fit this box in here. We'll remove this temporary one, and our permanent one will be this one. So we have to shrink this down a bit. This is impractical. We need to expand this hole from a 2 gang to a 3 gang. Now this is going to be a little dodgy to fit this in here because we have these tabs, because this is a new work box, but see, this box fits this hole accurately, but if I get an old work box, and this is what I don't quite understand, this old work box is about 2 centimeters too small. I mean, this is just barely going to sit in place. I would be nervous it's going to fall. So I don't understand why that's like that. Is this not an old work box? To me, this is an old work box. It has the thing that comes out and holds it in place. So I don't get it. Why it's different. I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain that to me in the comments. So I'm hoping I can just kind of slip this in like this. It's very, very close. I've got to be able to get this in somehow. Oh, I do need to take a little bit more off anyways. Oh, that's why it's not going up. There's a stinking. I keep forgetting there's that daggone beam there for some reason. We go all the way. No, I need to dig a hole like a couple more centimeters. No, just like one. One more centimeter would do it. I can't get out. I gotta see if I can grind these off. We don't need them. Let's see if I can just cut those off. I was able to just cut it off with these really powerful scissors. I didn't think that was going to work, but it did. It wasn't easy, but these did go through. So that was great. So now I should be able to just go, and I'll just have to screw it to the side with those little holes, and that should work. Now there is an anomaly here. There is some piece of wood there for some reason, so let's see if we can just take that out. I don't know what purpose that could possibly be serving. Doesn't seem like it's connected to anything. It just moves like it's maybe there's one nail connecting it. Just break it off. And then there's a nail right there which is going to interfere with what we're doing, so we gotta try to get that nail out. Probably just cut it with those powerful scissors, but I'd rather remove it if I could. I could. Okay, so now the box. Is there a sheep in here somewhere? Now this should just kind of fit like this, and I gotta clean this up, but I can secure it to the wall just with some screws like that. That'll work. So now just clean this up here a little bit. This doesn't matter that it's all messed up because this is going to be tiled over anyways. But I want to get it good enough that I can secure the box flat. Okay, I'm pretty content with that. It's not the most ideal setup, but it'll work. I didn't account for that. That's unfortunate, but you know, I could probably fix that. If I slice that in half, I can probably fix that. If it matters, I don't know. I don't think it really does. I think I might drill a hole, an extra hole in this. There's two screw holes there. I don't know if there's screw holes or not, but there's two holes there we can use. I might drill a third hole in the middle there just to secure it a little bit better. I'll go ahead and go do that now. Actually, I might also enlarge those other holes. I'm going to use these screws. Nope, there's no need to enlarge. It's actually the next day now. I got tired yesterday and just didn't do anything. So, try again today. For starters, we need 3 holes here, and for some reason I only put 2. So we gotta add a third hole here, clean up this mess, and then we can start running some wires. At least this is an easy hole because there's nothing out there to worry about. Just go right through with the large bit. Okay, now everything's coated in dust again. So go ahead and clean this up for the second time. I don't know why I missed that. I guess I just wasn't, I don't know, I was trying to pay attention, but something lapsed. We should be able to hear the sound of the vacuum correctly this time, for whatever that's worth. Instead of that garbled, whatever the heck kind of nonsense audio comes out of that other camera, which I don't think we're ever going to use again for that reason. Before we start passing the wires through, I want to pass the vacuum down through the holes up in the wall as I clean up the bottom of the holes. It doesn't really matter if there's some sawdust in there, but I just prefer to work clean and get it out of there if I can. So we're going to do that. Before we run any wires through here, I want to vacuum out the holes, or the sections of the wall down at the bottom. I don't think it really matters, but, or I know it doesn't really matter, but I'd like to clean up some of the shavings because I drilled from here to here, and so there's a lot of wood shavings down at the bottom. I just don't like when a work area is all filthy, you know. I like to work clean. So we'll just grab what we can out of there, and you're not going to get everything from the left side because of the pipes, but we should be able to get a decent amount. so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a quick sketch of the way the circuit's going to be wired up, so we don't make any, so we try not to make any mistakes with the running of the wires. So this box is going to have 3 switches in it. So it's a 3-gang box. We have 2 holes on the side and 3 holes on the top and bottom. So we're going to have one wire that comes out the side. And this wire is going to go to the lights. And then we're going to have a wire that goes up. Put that over here, and this is going to go to the outlet. And then we're going to have a wire that comes in. This is going to be power in. So this is always live. And then we're going to have one wire that goes out. This will be to on the right side. And this is the lights under cabinet on the left side. And this will be the sink lights. Okay, so that makes good sense. So these 3 wires will go down the same channel as the outlet does. So we've got those 3 holes. We have to make this hole still, and we have this hole already. So we still have one more hole that we got to make to fish wire through. That's fine. Not a big deal. We'll get to that. It's a short one. It's really just going from here up to this. This is what we're replacing is this. This is a newer wire, but the problem is this wire comes out at the top, and since I've already changed the other 2 to come out at the bottom to be able to connect them separately, I don't think it makes sense to keep this, so I should just change it so it's all uniform on this side. And then on this side there's nothing in the attic, which is how I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go downstairs now, and we're going to feed a piece of conduit up through one of the holes. We'll go with the hole on the right, and that will be the wire that we connect to the breaker panel. Well, actually it's not going to connect directly to the breaker panel. It's going to be a junction, but that'll be our input. And we're going to use the conduit as a simplifier. So what I'm going to do is I'll stick the conduit up from the bottom, then I'll come back up here. I'm going to feed the wire down. I'll have the spool of wire up here. I'll feed it down, and that's just going to make it go through the hole real easy. Once I get the wire to come out down below, pull the conduit out, and the wire's fed, and I can route it downstairs the way I want. I don't want to have the spool downstairs because I got to feed it all through the ceiling, and it just makes it more complicated. Here's our 3 holes. So what I'm going to do is just take the piece of conduit and stick this up here like this. And then we'll feed the wire down from above. I can feel the conduit right there. It's just a couple inches below the surface. So I should be able to get this in there pretty easily. What's the problem here? Is it because it's bent? the conduit, pushed down enough to the point where I think that it has come out downstairs. It should have come out downstairs by now. Yep, there it is. Now I'll just take the conduit out because we don't need it here. And the wire is run. Need more slack, of course, but it's here. Stopped. So we need to get this to go along there and then just to the end of that, because the junction box, I'll put a junction box right above the connection to that pipe, and then it'll go this way to pick up the other lighting circuit in the kitchen, and that'll be one breaker between the two. 'Cause quite frankly, I don't know where the heck it's connected right now. Maybe I can put this here. That works. Okay, this is getting a little bit confusing. Here it is. Should have labeled all this stuff. So this is going to come like this and get tacked onto this beam and go over there. And then move across. makes more sense to might make more sense to just stay on that wall and move it that way. Yeah, that might actually make more sense. I might move this down a little bit too, just to keep the wires above it. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. That makes more sense. That was a pretty good estimate. I just need about half a meter more. I'll go push some more down from above. And this is where we reap the benefits of this kind of wire, because I could just rip this through the wall. It's not going to break. Alright, that's more than we need, but I would rather waste that wire than waste the whole run because it was too short. Hello? Hello? No, that's garbage. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's a scam. And it's terrible that you're calling people and preying on people that don't know any better to rip people off of their hard-earned money. It's terrible. Don't tell me what to do. You're so stupid. Okay, anyways. Right. I think we're good to terminate that upstairs. We'll keep it there. It's a little bit too long, but as I was saying before, rudely interrupted by a scam, I would rather cut off half a meter of wire over there and just have access, as opposed to become too short and then the whole run is a waste. Not that wire is cheap, I don't want to waste wire at all, but the time to redo it is worth more than the half an hour, whatever it's going to take everything apart and redo it. Okay, so when this wire comes up, it needs to go over through the holes and end up in this box. I am going to cut it here. I use these powerful scissors again. These work pretty good. All right, so let's see. There is a nail or something sticking out right here, and maybe a staple. I don't have to worry about that because it's not gonna penetrate the wire like it would a Romex. So 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes. Okay. I thought I'd forgotten another hole. This is the only point in time where this wire becomes a little bit annoying, in the sense that it doesn't bend very sharp, but at the same time it's not really good to be putting sharp bends in the wire anyways. I'm going to go with the lowermost hole on this one. It's going to be the easiest to feed this through, considering the amount of slack we have. Okay, let's go ahead and label this before we go any further. Okay, there's number one. Wasn't too bad. So now the next two we have to put down, and then they gotta come back up over there.
Let's see where is that pipe? Oh. I think we only need the conduit for
The leftmost wire, which is already run. Okay, we're going to do the next one now. Put the conduit back up. Okay. Okay, here's that piece of wire. Now, where this is going to go up, it does need the conduit. So we're going to have to cut a new piece to be the right length. So this one will go here, and we want the conduit at least to come up to here. It doesn't have to go through this hole. In fact, it's not going to, because the hole is not straight. It's just physically inconceivable that it would line up, but we just got to get it above this pipe. So if we get it here, that's fine. So we know that the counter is about 91 off the floor. So we just need to add, let's say if we add, we'll drop it down to 90 for simplicity. And if we add at least 25, we'll be good. So 90, 100, 110, 115. So 115 is right here. We'll leave a couple extra inches to pass through the floor. And a couple extras stick out because it don't matter down below here. And we'll cut it here. We need some light. This is a metal halide work light. This is from the brand, I think it's an Ericsson. These were excellent work lights. Very, very durable, very expensive, very good quality. Solid metal housing. They're chainable too, which is neat. If I recall correctly, last time I used this it malfunctioned. Let's see if it's working today. Seems to be working today. I also have some high pressure sodium ones that are very similar to this. I like these better than DEL ones, and they're arguably better than halogen ones because they don't get anywhere near as hot. Probably more efficient than halogen too. Alright, let's get this positioned and see what's going on up here. Up here. Thought we'd be using these fans any soon, but doesn't seem like it anymore. Another 29-degree night last night. It was pretty bitter cold all day today. I think it only got up to about 40 something. It's kind of cold for this time of year. Below average. Alright, the light just went out. I bet the bulb is loose. Because I still heard the ballast. Okay, no problem. I have extras. I'll go put this one on the bench for a checkout later on. And I will grab another one. Because I have another one sitting over here. Hopefully there's a bulb in this one. Suppose the spare isn't too good if there's no bulb. Let's see. This one seems to be working properly. I saw one orange flash as it warmed up. Would expect to see a few more because this is a new bulb. If it's been used at all, probably just once to test it to see if it works. There we go, nice orange flash there. Another one there. Bunch right there. Alright, it's ready to work. Hopefully it stays working. I think it will. This one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this good in the camera or not. Probably not. It's not even really visible good in person. But this one is right here. If I recall correctly, this is a little tricky to get up here, but seems to be going okay thus far. Alright, it just hit something, which I recall that was an issue, so we just have to kind of manipulate it to go around whatever it's hitting. Just have to bend it a little bit. I don't know which way it needs to be bent though. Take a look from above.
Too short. Can't get it.
Okay, we gotta go down and to the right. All this insulation in the wall for some reason. I don't understand why, because it's not an outside wall. But that's what we're getting stuck on now. And let's see here. Okay, I think that time we got it. Yep, there it is. What I've been doing to peer down the wall, I've been taking this pixel camera with horrible audio quality, and I put this to video, and I just put the flash on and I peer down the wall like this, and this is letting me see what we're doing. So before it was getting caught on a pipe, now it's behind this, which is fine. I wish we could just record the video on that, because then I could show you it better, but I think the audio is just totally unusable on that dumb thing. Okay, so now we want the conduit to come up just enough to be over that pipe, which it is now. The wire will come off the top, and then we'll have to feed it through this hole up here. So a little bit of a challenge, but I think that won't be the worst thing we have to deal with today. So let's think about how we want to route this. I think it's going to have to route on the outside wall there as opposed to this side. On that side, I gotta change it. I gotta get drop. This is just a breather, so I don't think that we need this whole apparatus here. I could put it here instead, or just cancel out. I think there's really no weight on there because it's full of water. I think I'm gonna take that out, move this existing wire down, and then we'll go over, and then it'll have to go down and loop in like it is for the other one. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. We're going to need a lot more slack than we currently have, but I will get it afterwards. It's easier to feed it like this when it's short.
Nope, I didn't get it. I want it above these wires. And just like that. Yeah, that should be up against
The wood now. I might need to snake this. Oh, no, I think I just got it. There's some splinters in the way that are stopping it from coming up correctly. Okay, there's the wire. Now, I think we have a clear shot up to this hole here. At least I really hope that we do. No, I don't feel any more studs there. Yep, it's clear. Now there's a bunch of screws sticking out on the other side here. Doesn't matter because this wire will not get damaged from that. Okay, here's the wire. So now we got to get this other part out of here. This is like pinched in here. I don't like the way that is. I would have had to change that anyways. Wow, this pinching is so tight I can't even get it out. I didn't want to cut it because I would reuse this piece of wire for something else, but it's not going to go through there. It's just not. Okay, so this, we don't need this path anymore. And then this piece, I don't know, where does this go? Attic, I think? Or does it go? I don't know where this one goes. It might go up to the top. It might have been that one. I saw it move a little bit. Yeah, there's no way it's coming out of there. No shot. I'm just gonna have to put it back there like that. This is going to be a little dodgy because that's a steep angle to make with this kind of wire. Very steep angle. There we go. so we want to have enough to potentially either mount something here or in the back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a whole bunch of extra slack and just leave it in the wall. Which is one of the nice things about doing custom wiring like this, is you can set it up for different provisions, and then we can pull more up as needed if we need to. Let me see where we're at downstairs. It feels like it's getting tight. I thought there was plenty of slack down there. There was not any slack down here. It had run out. That should be enough. And now if we want it here, we can get that much. If we don't need it, just put it back in. Alright, that works. One more to go. Need a new cam or a battery. think I can just use that last piece I have from the previous time that we cut this, because it only has to go up like, I don't know, maybe half a meter to get around the pipe. So if it doesn't go up all the way, it doesn't matter. Let's see if that did it. Yep, that was all we needed. Just to get it above all that mess down there. Looks like the conduit went up. I guess it doesn't really matter, but that's not what I wanted to happen. Okay, it's back. Alright, that's pretty good. We'll have to revisit this and neaten all this stuff up. But this is what we need to be able to tile the wall. So that's good. Done with this for now. The rest of the work tonight will be upstairs. So if I need to be vacuuming this up, I'll come back and do that later. Okay, so there's our 3 wires that have to go down below. Now we need to put some wire that goes from here to here. So we'll probably just cut a hole here, and I think one should be enough. And make it a wide one I can fit the drill through and drill with the bit that I don't have anymore. Isn't that not the stud there? It sure looked like it. Yeah, it is. Okay. This piece I think we can get out. Actually, we want to, does it pass through a hole? I can't even tell. Neither of these wires up here will move. I don't understand why. This, I'm pretty sure, is in the same canal. No, it won't budge. It will not budge. I don't understand that. Well, that's gonna have to stay as well. I can't get it out. Not with any reasonable means. Okay, so now we need to drill over into this area here. Make sure there's no plumbing. Nope, there does not seem to be any plumbing. Well, that's interesting. That beam that goes across here stops in this area for some reason. Alright, we just gotta make sure we get below that. Oh, we gotta go way down at the bottom here then. I think a 5/8 hole is good enough. No, these aren't metric, they're stupid inches. Okay, it's through, and this is a short run. start it from the other side. Much easier. Okay, one more wire to run tonight, and that's going to be our stopping point for today. I think. Maybe I'll try to... it's only 8 o'clock. Maybe I'll try to patch up some of the holes too, so I can clean up the counter and use the kitchen again. It's been really kind of a nuisance to have the kitchen under construction like this. So, the outlet is right there. And it looks to me like it should be in line with this box here. So I left this in place. It really feels like it's free. So I wonder if we can just attach this to there and pull it up. That we should be able to do that, or it might be easier to just go from the top and push it down, because we have a much bigger area to work with down here than up top. Hitting something. I don't think that it's anything that we're looking for. I wonder if there's another stinking stud somewhere that goes horizontal. That's what it feels like. Well, that's fine. We'll just attach this wire to the other one and pull it through. definitely going through some kind of hole. It's not in the same area, which is surprising. But it's fine, I got it up here at the top. A lot of surprises around here. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're annoying, sometimes they just don't make any sense. This one doesn't really make any sense. It's not freely moving, so that definitely is passing through probably another horizontal stud. Okay, that's all the new wires that we needed to run. Next we got to get the box in there, that's going to be an interesting operation. I think I know how we're going to do it, but it's definitely going to be a little tricky. And then after that we'll patch up all the holes. I wonder if I should try the box tonight. Trying to think about what kind of fiascos could potentially arise that could draw this out longer than it should go. No, I think I'm going to patch the holes tonight, because if I patch the holes, then I can at least return this segment of the kitchen back to normal, and that would be nice. So we got to do like a puzzle here and figure out which pieces go where. That's the one for up there. And that would work. This one got bigger because I had to cut more out. The reason why I did this conduit stuff is because see how the pipe, the wall is right next to it, not the wall, the pipe is right next to where the wire is going to be. I just didn't like that, you know, it's what's in the summertime potentially. We saw the other wire was all rusty. This just keeps the wires completely safe from the moisture. I'm much happier with it this way than the way that it was. This is non-standard, but I think it's good. Alright, let's get these holes patched up. There's a pipe behind here, but it's not, the screws are not going to go that far to hit it, so that shouldn't be a problem. Drill bit's duller than a mouse. Maybe we don't need to drill all those holes. That would be nice. Doesn't seem like it's gonna split. This old piece of wire I could not get out. So unfortunately that has to stay in there. Not my preference, but it is what it is. I don't think that this piece is going to be... Actually, no, this piece might work for right there. It's not quite tall enough. I'll have to go get some more wood. Okay, I gotta go get some more scrap wood pieces. not good. We just cut through the saw. Cut through the saw. We cut through the stool. Trying to see if that screw is above or below where the pipe is, but I can feel that there is adequate space for this wire to pass in between. We're in the clear, that's fine. It's definitely close, but I think that that's fine. It's not hitting the pipe. Probably actually got a decent amount of space. Maybe a centimeter or so.
what are the odds? There's already a hole in there, and I just happened to go through that one hole. That's why I didn't grab. That's better. That's why it felt weird. I was sitting in there. There's a pipe right behind here, so this is really kind of dicey here. Clear it if we stay on the ends.
Okay, I think we're gonna call it there. It's 9 o'clock. Made a lot of progress. I can at least clean this up now and get part of the kitchen back. I'm going to have to replace all the filters in that vacuum when we're done with this project after cleaning up all this drywall dust with it. But that's fine, I've had it for a long time, I've never changed the filters, so I'll probably do anyways. Alright, well at least some part of the kitchen is back to normal. I'll spackle all the... Don't know if I have to repaint it or not. I'll have to investigate that. And then tomorrow, we'll try to wrap this up over here. I don't know what to expect. I feel like this should be simple, but getting this box in place is going to be a little tricky. Once we've done that, we'll have to go up top and replace the outlet. The wiring we're going to keep on this, but we're going to change it to metal blocks. And then the other side of the kitchen, the access is much more difficult, but there's no logic changes over there. It's just replacing the wire, so it should be a like for like. Pull the wire out, attach a new one, slip it through, and be done with it. I hope. Time will tell. But for now, we're making some good progress today, and we'll keep going tomorrow.